Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to share with you is one of my most cherished card tricks. I have been performing it for years and it's never failed me. And once you learn it, you won't want to perform anything else just because of the mind-boggling reactions you'll get. Strap in, here we go. Alright yo, so check this out for those of you who are curious. These are the Demon V2 Vengeance Edition playing cards. I had no idea how they opened up until this happened. Boom, right? Like half a wing opening right up. So for this card trick, you want to start by handing the deck over to the spectator, and they can shuffle it up as much as they'd like. Then they have to select a card. Let's just say this card right over here. Take a look at that card and memorize it, all right? Once you have that card memorized, I'll leave it on the table for now, but I'll start shuffling up the deck like this, and wherever you want to call out stop, let's just say here, we'll take the card and put it right at that location, and then I will continue shuffling up the packet. Okay. Now, we're going to kind of do this as a psychological test. And the way that it's going to work is, I'll leave this on the table, and I want you to cut it into 2 more piles first. It's like a psychological observation test. So you have these 3 piles. I'm going to show you the bottom card of each pile, and in your mind, if it's your card, just yell as loud as you can, "That's my card." Right, card number 1, I did not hear anything, so I'll leave it right here. Card number 2, again, I did not hear anything, so leave it right over here. And card number 3, again, I'm seriously not getting anything. I'm not sure if I'm just going deaf or what's going on. So we'll leave those 3 cards here, and hopefully they're in view so you can actually see them. I'll leave them right here. 1, 2, 3 cards. The psychology test didn't work. Let's try intuition. I feel like intuition is usually stronger than just basic psychology, okay? I'm gonna start dealing off cards from the top of the deck, just one at a time. And wherever you'd like to call out stop, you can call out stop. You ready for this? Here we go. Right here? All right, check this out. The card that you stopped at, what was your card? The King of Hearts. Oh, okay. All right, did you see your card in this pile, the psychology test pile? No, right? This is obviously not it. The one card you stopped at with intuition was the King of Hearts. Boom. What up, crew? It is Magic Monday, and this is your place to learn Magic, master performance, and captivate audiences. The effect I'm sharing with you today is a variation on Design for Laughter from the Royal Road to Card Magic. I have already done and taught the original effect on this channel, but I was recently going through the Card College book series, and I'm like, they have a variation on this trick as well. And if they can do a variation, then I can do a variation. Now, before we dive right into the tutorial, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and get ready to share with all your friends. Now grab your favorite deck, and let's do it. Alright, yo, here we go. So, a bit more technical background on this effect. I would say this is more intermediate advanced level, just because of all the extra slights I threw in there. They really are not necessary, but it's just a lot of fun that I like to do when I come up with variations on certain effects. So, that being said, I also was not a big fan of my performance, by the way. I got like paper cuts on the insides of my index fingers, both of them, and it's just made shuffling, dealing, or doing anything very hard. Anyway, you want to start this trick by handing the deck over to a spectator and allowing them to shuffle it up as much as they would like. Once you're satisfied with the shuffling, of course, they go ahead and select out a card. Let's just say the 5 of Hearts. And the way that I like to do this control, ultimately what you want to do is control this card to the bottom of the deck. So many ways to do it, but just to have a bit more fun with the spectator and just show them the level of freedom that they truly have, I start doing an overhand shuffle like this, and I just tell them to call out stop, and wherever they call out stop, I shift this hand, my hand that's receiving the cards, towards them, and ask them to place their card at that location. Once their card is there, I in-jog that one card, and that one card alone, like this, using my thumb. Then I continue doing an overhand shuffle on top of that. Up to speed, it looks very believable. But once this card is here, and now you start talking to the spectator saying, I'm going to be doing a psychological test. And as you're doing this, I like to casually give the cards a cut. And what I'm doing is coming to this card here with my thumb, pushing up and forward, creating a break in the deck. Then I cut at that point, and their card has been controlled to the bottom. So there's the 5 of Hearts. And again, while I'm doing this, I'm talking through the psychological test that you're going to be doing, or an observation test, whatever you want to call it. It's your story. Go wild. All right. So now this is where it's same as Design for Laughter, where you put the deck on the table and ask the spectator to cut it into 2 more piles. So pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. We have these 3 piles, and let's just say we tell the spectator we're going to do an observation test. I'm going to show you this card, And once I show this card to you, in your mind, you're gonna think, is that my card or is that not my card? And I'm just gonna try to observe how you are acting, or how your facial expressions are. And you show the first card to the spectator. And I guess let me step back a little bit. There are two ways to do what's gonna happen next. The original method taught, this is gonna be using the bottom glide. The initial method that's taught is you hold the cards horizontally like this in your dominant hand, and you come over like this. So you have the packet here, your thumb goes on the bottom, your pinky, middle, and ring finger go up top, and my index finger I just place next to my middle finger just for easiness. Now when you're coming like this, you can either show the card to the spectator like this, right, where the deck is horizontal, or you can do it in a biddle grip, which I do like this, okay? And with that, thumb on the bottom, middle ring finger on top, index finger I just kind of leave in the air like this. So either way you want to do it, show this card to the spectator. Once the spectator sees this card, they're going to say whatever in their mind. You turn this packet down, take this bottom card, put it on the table. I put this packet on top of the next packet, right? Keep in mind the spectator's card is underneath the bottom packet, right? So the packet all the way to the left if you cut to the right. Then I repeat the same process. Again, either you can do it this way or you can do it this way. Let's just do it this way for now. You show them this card. They're just gonna think in their mind. Again, turn this down, pull out that bottom card, put it down, put it on the last packet. And this, of course, is their card. Now here's where you implement the bottom glide move. The bottom glide, the way that it works is as you're holding I'm gonna go through both grips. If you're holding the cards horizontally like this, the bottom glide, we have the grip that we talked about. You're gonna squeeze with these fingers. So these three fingers here are gonna squeeze down on this card, and then they're gonna push this card back. Wow, it's so hard to see from this angle. You push like this, and of course, this is when the card is down like this, right? Package face down. You squeeze the card like this and pull back. This will give you an exposure on the card that's right above it, and you're gonna pull out that card to put it down, right? So you can either do it that way with that grip, or the grip that I'm more comfortable doing is when I'm showing the card to the spectator like this. I grip and I move this to the side, exposing this card here, and I can pull it out that way. So whichever method you want to use, go ahead and use it. Just make sure whatever method you stick with, or whatever method you use, you stick with throughout each one of those three piles when you're going through, right? So I'm showing this, I come down, move this to the side, again, not in front of the spectator, move this to the side while the packet is down, pull out that card, the second card from the bottom, put that here. Now the spectator thinks that's their card, and they're just gonna be either laughing to themselves thinking, oh, this guy messed up. And at this point, the card's on the bottom of the deck, and I tell them, I don't think this really worked. And as I'm saying this, I start doing an overhand shuffle with the deck, right? Overhand shuffling. And my whole purpose here is to control the bottom card to the top. The second that card comes right to the top, again, the control that you're using, overhand shuffle, just to make it a bit easier, you can either grab a break with your thumb like this, right underneath or above the card, and then do the shuffle. And the second you get to the break, you can throw that card over, or you can just do it by feel if you have enough practice. So now this card's on top of the deck. They think their card is somewhere over here, which is not the case. From here, I tell the spectator, I don't think the psychological test worked, or the observation test worked. I'm going to start dealing off cards, and we're going to try to use intuition. And with the intuition, I'm going to start dealing off cards face down from the top of the deck, and you can call out stop whenever you'd like. Of course, their card is right on top of the deck, and what I do here is the second deal. So the way I like to do the push-off second deal, but you can do the strike second. I'm not a big fan of it, but whatever, that's a whole other story. But you start doing the second deal. And the way that it's gonna happen, I like to push off two cards as one. And by the way, I have a tutorial on the second deal. I'll put it on the screen. You can go ahead and check it out. Push that card over. And now I grab the card underneath it and I throw it out, right? Make sure I throw it out. Well, let's leave these cards here so they don't get mixed up. And I throw that card out. So I'm literally pushing over two cards as one and grabbing the card underneath and throwing those out, right? So you don't have to do it this way. Again, this makes it a bit more difficult, and excuse my skills while my index fingers recover, but I'm throwing this out. And as soon as the spectator calls out stop, I grab this card and I put it down on the table, and you can pretty much put the rest of the deck over to the side. And then I ask them, did you see your card here? Did the psychological test actually work? They're gonna say, I guess yes or no. I don't really know. But you ask them if any one of these are your cards, and they're gonna say yes, yes, well, sorry, no, no, and then yes. But the second you flip this over, they'll be like, wait, hold on, that's not it. You can toss these over to the side, and then you can ask a spectator themselves to flip over this card, and that's their selected card. They will go absolutely nuts. Like, you don't understand. One more quick thing. Let's say you're not comfortable doing the second deal. You have these 3 cards here, and then you have this card on the bottom of this whole deck. What you can do is you could just do another bottom glide. You can say, let's do a numerology kind of test. And I want you to name my number between 1 and 20. So then they name the number 4. Let's just say you're going to do the bottom glide, right? Grip, move to the side or move down, depending on how you're holding the deck. Deal off, they said 4, right? They deal off 4. 1, 2, 3. Again, this is the cards above their selected card. And 4. And then you can repeat it the same way, where you reveal these cards one at a time slowly. And then you say, oh wait, this was your card all along. So this is a much easier version, but I think I enjoy the other version just a little bit more. But go ahead, either way, you're gonna kill it. Granted, this version is a bit more difficult than the original, but it's so much fun to perform. And if you want to check out the original trick, click on this video right here because it's an absolute classic. A big thank you to all my Patreon producers, and thank you, love you, see you soon.